I have personally shifted my focus in terms of my own leveling up goals and where my focus currently is versus before. Perhaps it was more on the exterior and maybe, other kinds of goals, which I don't regret at all. And there has been a few questions that have come in, people wondering, is it still worth to chase being part of the high society and affluence and elegance? And these subjects have been some of the subjects that I've covered over the years. And some of you know that I've been on YouTube since 2018, so that's quite a long journey. On this channel, we talk about leveling up. And what does that actually mean? To me, it means looking your best, feeling your best, and just living your best life. So here we kind of upgrade the whole package, doing inner work, outer work, and doing a lifestyle transformation. Not that everybody has to follow that path, but that's kind of what my videos are about. And so I have touched upon, high society as a subject. I've touched upon elegance. And I know that after I share with you in my video about how I'm over high society, many of you are thinking, okay, does it mean that pursuing those goals is something bad and negative? Should you then avoid it? Am I not recommending this to you anymore? I think this is such a personal decision because in the end of the day, you have to do what's right for you. These goals were right for me at a time, but they are a bit redundant for me now. Now, my thirst is for something completely different. And so I think that's kind of a natural and normal evolution in life. And so just because you are at this place where a luxurious lifestyle feels very much aligned with your goals, then I would say go for it. Dream big, think big, and go after your wildest dreams. I mean, isn't that what life is about? Someone asked if I'm still interested in luxury, fashion, and buying new products because I made this video about how I am currently downsizing in terms of my material life, because I feel like over the years, I haven't been questioning myself enough in terms of why am I buying these items? Why am I shopping so much? And those kind of things. I think right now, in times when the Western society is definitely stuck in some form of overconsumption rat race, I think all of us need to pause and just ask ourselves, are we doing this for the right reasons? Is this healthy? Are we doing it maybe a bit too much? And just really reflect and be honest with ourselves. And so when I did the self-discovery and self-reflection, I realized that, I think I need to take a little break and just figure out how would my life look like without being so attached to all these material goals, to all this spending. So that is what I'm currently doing. And I must say, right now, I'm not buying anything unless something is really missing in my wardrobe and I need it because I'm really using it. Okay, that is like my non-negotiable entry point to my wardrobe right now. Otherwise, my wardrobe is closed. There has been questions also about kind of my past videos and my past advice, and also whether there are videos that I look back at and cringe. And I mean, who doesn't look back and cringe at like old things that we've done in the past, old appearances of us, old fashion choices, old footage, old pictures. I mean, we all always cringe, don't we? And so obviously, when I look at some of my old videos, I cringe as well. Now, with regards to the content of these videos, there isn't this element where I have completely changed opinion on absolutely everything. Whatever has happened within me has been a natural evolution, especially as somebody who does a lot of, therapy. I do a lot of inner work. I do a lot of self-discovery. And, I invest a lot in personal development because ultimately, that is my hobby, and that is also what my work is so based around. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. So it would be kind of weird if I didn't evolve as well. And naturally, when you evolve, you maybe change perspective, you maybe soften some opinions. I can't actually think of anything specific that I've said in the past that I regret. Feel free to leave me a comment below and ask me, do I still have the same opinion on XYZ? And then I can answer in the comments. I still have most of the opinions from my past, but one thing that I think I've done a mistake of is how I have formulated certain opinions. I definitely would have done that differently today, and that's something that I didn't really realize until in recent years. Let's put it this way. I've never really been the most talented speaker, even though I'm here chatting to you on this massive stage, right? But I've always been terrible at communication, because my natural communication style is very direct, very blunt, straight to the point, I don't think before I speak. And so I've always kind of shot myself in the foot, like in my personal life, and I still do from time to time. There are maybe some videos that I look back at now and be like, did I have to say it exactly like that? Because that really comes across a bit weird. Or, okay, I should have definitely added a little bit more context here. Or why did I not put more disclaimers in this video? And so those are the things that I do regret, to be honest. Now, another question, what happened to School of Affluence? So if you are an OG follower, you know that a long time ago, once upon a time, I think this was 2019 or maybe 2020 that's when I actually scraped the name School of Affluence. That used to be the name of my finishing school because I used to have a course where I was teaching ladies about how to fit into high society and have success in those circles. So back then, School of Affluence was a very suitable name when I had a course like that. However, when I started teaching more on style, on elegance, on other things like leveling up, then it kind of felt a bit restrictive, the name School of Affluence. So that's kind of why I scraped it. Somehow I think you are broke or have been divorced because you have changed too much. So I had to include this question because I think it kind of shows such a good examples of some people, right? People who, as soon as you change, they always expect the worst. Actually, there were some other questions in terms of what has sparked the change? People say it's normally a life-defining event, or what was the turning point? Almost like as if there was something really big and really significant that happened, whether that was something really negative, like I'm broke and divorced, or whether it was just a big event. So in my situation, there wasn't really anything big that happened. I remember it was 2022. I just woke up one day being like, you know what? I just feel differently. I am less interested in certain topics. I feel like I need to change direction. And so I've been doing that slowly but surely, but also trying to kind of figure out why have I all of a sudden had these changes happening within me? Because I haven't been actively seeking them out. They just appeared one day. And I must say though, because I'm 38 and I simply think that I have just entered a new season of my life. A lot of people talk about how around this age, you just start changing perception, you just start having different goals. And so honestly, I think that is what has happened. I think my kind of glamorous life aspirations, like somebody is mentioning here, like I am under the impression that you're not fascinated by the glamorous life anymore. And that is what has happened. I'm just less fascinated by it all, by luxury, by high society, by the material life and all of that. And this doesn't mean that I'm now this Buddhist monk or this hippie who wants to just, sit under a tree a whole day and disconnect from anything. No. I don't live in extremes. I don't believe in extremes. I am here teaching a balanced approach to life. And I certainly believe that we can have the best of both worlds. So even though I have shared with you that I'm kind of over high society. I'm kind of over chasing luxury and just having all these material goals set for myself. Like I want to change focus. I want to just spend my time doing some other things. This doesn't mean that this is a black and white transformation. No, I don't want you ladies to have black and white type of thinking. It's actually not really good for you and for the leveling up process. Have nuanced thinking. That is so important. I want to incorporate luxury in my life. I want to incorporate high society adventures and fun times in these circles. But I don't want to have it all the time. I actually do love regular life, mediocre life, boring life, quiet life, you name it. I have really learned to understand the beauty of it, and I couldn't see that before. And so that is what has also changed, the fact that maybe it is an age thing, but I'm just starting to really appreciate kind of simple things. It's almost like before, when I was younger, I needed this really strong kick of luxury or something to feel really satisfied or feel like I'm living the life. But now I'm understanding you can actually live the life even without all of those extravagant things. I saw some comments as well. Some ladies were sad that because you think that I'm now kind of talking poorly about luxury goals or high society or luxury in general. And that's not the case either. I think it is important to speak about both sides. I think it would be maybe negative if I would never say anything critical about a certain lifestyle. But the fact that I came out recently and really did share also some negative thoughts, I don't want you to feel threatened by that. These are just my opinions. And I think it is healthy for us to objectively look at things from both sides, because nothing is just perfect in life and everything has a backside to it. And so then it is up to you to be like, okay, let's compare the pluses with the minuses, and then I will take a decision of what to do for myself, what is right for me, etc. I do want to influence you positively on this channel. So I need to make this disclaimer where you have to really pick things from my channel that works for you in your life and then ignore the rest. Don't think that you have to do something just because somebody is doing something. Someone is asking, are you distancing yourself from elegance because it is now saturated on YouTube? So the thing is that I don't think actually elegance is saturated on YouTube, and I am not leaving elegance behind, and actually I'm not really leaving all my topics behind if that's what you think. I am still planning on incorporating some of them in my future content. I just want to have a little bit more diversity on this channel, and also not just talk about elegance or not just talk about, I don't know, high society. But the thing is that I haven't been speaking about high society since a long time ago. It's been years. Is it hard to show how you have changed when you know that some people are negative? So I think that we all have probably come across in our lives that whenever we have changed or evolved, it's always like there are certain types of people who just hang on to this kind of old version of you. And it's always kind of interesting to why. Like, why can't they just accept the fact that you have changed, you have evolved, maybe you have matured, whatever, right? But it's like, no, they are obsessed with this version of you. And sometimes this version might not even have been very accurate. Like in my case, you know that there are still people who are convinced that I teach women how to bag a billionaire. That basically my work is all about being a gold digger and teaching being a social climber in high society and God knows what else. Same goes for, you know, some people think I'm an etiquette teacher. And that's the thing, like there are so many faulty perceptions of what it is that I actually do, to the point that I kind of have given up. Like, what's the point? You can't really change people's minds. So why should I be wasting this time on that when I'm busy myself leveling up? I'm busy myself, you know, evolving in life. And if some people struggle with letting go of a perception of you or a version of you, then I think that has to do more with them. Can you explain what you cover now precisely? So my mission is to help women improve their lives. And that can obviously have to do with their inner self, how they feel about their life, how empowered they feel, how confident they feel, how good they feel in general, right? So there's a lot of inner work related, we work a lot with mindset, which is why I love making video on how to strengthen yourself from within. Then, of course, we want to feel our best, look our best, and therefore the outer transformation can be important. But it's important, I think, that we do that in a balanced way without maybe taking it to a place where it becomes toxic. Because to be honest, anything in life can be taken too far, too extreme, to the point that it becomes really negative. And I don't want that. And so that is another thing, by the way, I've noticed over the years, because I think some of my content has definitely been perceived by some as if I'm teaching some form of extremism, which has never been the intention. And I have touched upon that in certain videos over the years, but not everybody watched those videos. And so yeah, now I'm trying to be extra clear that we are going after balance. And that is so important. Balance and authenticity. And that has to do with the lifestyle transformation as well, because I want to live a better life. But if before, maybe, my goals were a little bit superficial, thinking that the happiness will hide behind the riches, right? I'm not going to sit here and say that the rich life is bad. No, but the rich life can become bad. It can become toxic, superficial, not fulfilling at all. It all depends how you navigate it and what choices you make. And I also do very much believe that you don't have to have the rich life to be very happy and fulfilled. And so for this reason, over the years, I cannot say this enough, but I think it is so important that you really do define what your leveling up goals are. What does luxury mean to you if you want to pursue that? Luxury doesn't have to always mean the flashy, the super lavish stuff. It can sometimes mean nature and simplicity, but you have to decide what that means for you. And that is kind of the journey that I'm on. I'm kind of redefining a little bit my luxury goals and my leveling up goals and all of that, because ultimately I still want to climb higher and higher and higher in life, but not necessarily in the stereotypical, traditional way that society has taught us what success means. So my leveling up goals right now are very much focused on self-discovery and doing even more inner work. I don't know, I'm just really down the rabbit hole right now and I'm really loving it. And I think that has to really also do with the fact that in the last 2 years, I started changing my lifestyle because I told you, I wanted to simplify my life. I actually feel like I was all the time, just shooting for the stars, the bigger the better, more is more and that kind of thing. And everything has to be now so complicated and so grand and so big. And so when I realized that actually, no, that doesn't equal happiness. Sometimes less is more. Sometimes you're gonna find your fulfillment when you simplify your life. And instead, I started living a more quiet life. So I have 2 horses that I see, 4 or 5 days a week. I have a dog, I have my husband, and I live a more still life. And that life has really helped me focus so much more on hearing my inner voice and just connect with myself on a completely different level and really accelerate in the self-discovery department. And so that is currently where I'm at, and probably that is what you are seeing, a shift in me. And actually somebody's asking, what about the second YouTube channel? And yes, I have already launched my second YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. The link is in the description box below. And that channel is very much focused on mindset transformation. And I kind of call it my advice channel. So on this channel where we are right now, I give you tips on leveling up in general. But on that channel, it's more about mindset transformation. So make sure you subscribe. You are at the end of the level up journey, but many people need to go through it to mature. It is a bit of a cliche almost, kind of the path that I've gone through. I went from, looking for, the high life, and then I got to experience it and live it, over the course of many years to the point where I started feeling very satisfied and maybe a bit bored. So I decided to kind of change approach and just change direction completely. And I think that kind of summarizes everything. But I do think, part of the process is to actually achieve that, because sometimes we can only understand something once we have gone through it. We can only feel like we're not going to have the FOMO if we actually got to experience it and see it for what it is. I still want to just say what I said earlier. If you have these kind of more superficial goals, or, okay, that's a very condescending way of calling it, but you know what I mean. You want to live a more luxurious life. You have high society aspirations, or you want luxury in your life. I don't know. But yes, go after it. If you have the need, then you should do that. Then what happens after that? Who knows? Maybe you will want to stay there. Maybe you will realize that is not for you. We are all so different and we are on such different journeys. And so whatever I have gone through cannot dictate your life. I think that's really important to understand. And of course, I have a lot of experience on these subjects and I will continue to share my experience, even though myself right now, I'm just not so focused on those chapters of life. But experience is still there and I'm happy to share if you need help from me. And speaking of help, I will be continuing teaching, and I currently do that at levelupclass.com. So if you want to have more in-depth coaching from me, just go to levelupclass.com, and there you will find both free trainings and paid masterclasses. So ladies, I hope I have answered many of your questions. Feel free to ask me more questions in the comments below. I will stop by the comments and answer some of these. Maybe there are still some misconceptions out there that I should clarify. Sending you much love, and if you have no idea what I've been talking about in today's video, then make sure you watch the video of why I'm over high society. Maybe that will explain it a little bit more. I will see you in that video.